Hi guys, welcome back to Cooking with Angie. Today we are going to be making a pumpkin roll, and this is the perfect dessert for a Thanksgiving dinner. Ready? Let's get to it. So first we are going to start by adding room temperature eggs. These are 3 eggs and they have been in room temperature. The recipe asks for at least 30 minutes prior room temperature. Now we are going to whisk those eggs for 30 seconds. Okay, our eggs are nice and whisked. Prior to this, my oven is already preheating at 375, and also I have put my pan ready with parchment paper as well as a non-stick oil spray, and that is set aside and waiting for us. Okay, now that we have whisked the eggs for 30 seconds, we are going to add the granulated sugar, which is a cup. And you know what? The recipes, I'll add them. Put me in the description, comment below, and I'll give you the full recipe. A cup of sugar. Next, we are going to add pumpkin puree. So this is pumpkin puree. We don't get the pumpkin filling or any of that. It's the actual puree. And we are going to be adding this to our mix. Spoon all that goodness out of there. Okay, now after the puree, we are going to be adding vanilla. And after adding the vanilla, we are going to whisk until it's fully combined. So let's get whisking. Okay, now that it's fully whisked, you see, this is what it should look like. Let me get you a close-up. Okay, now that we have whisked it, this is how it should look, everything combined. And after this, we will be following the next steps of adding the flour, baking powder, pumpkin pie spice, and salt to batter. So here is the flour. Pumpkin pie spice. Smells delicious. Baking powder. Now remember, baking powder, not baking soda, baking powder. And salt. Okay, now that that's added, we are going to whisk until it's fully combined once again. Oh, this is smelling amazing. This is a nice little treat. You can leave it in your fridge overnight. You could even freeze this. So it's a nice little treat for you later. And it's perfect for Thanksgiving. Perfect. Okay, now this is what your batter should look like. Everything nice and combined, nice and smooth. Okay, now that everything is combined, we are going to pour our batter. We're going to make sure that it evenly spreads out on the baking sheet. Beautiful. This looks beautiful. Now, while I'm preparing this, I have already taken out my butter and my cream cheese that is going for the icing that goes inside. So that way it's at room temperature and softened. Makes it a lot easier for you to work with as well. So making sure that you follow those steps of having that prepared. Okay, now that it's on here, we're going to spread that out like so. Make sure that it's even, because this is going to bake like an even layer. And then we are going to be rolling it. That's the fun part. Okay, this is what it should look like once you evenly spread it out. Remember, you're no pros, I'm no pro, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as you get a nice little flat area, will be workable. Okay, now we are going to be placing this already in the preheated oven at 375. We'll be putting that in there for about 15 minutes. Okay guys, this is what it should look like. 15 minutes in the oven. We've checked it, it's ready. Now this, you have to do it while it's hot. So we are going to remove this from here. Now this, with the parchment paper, we are going to roll it nice and tight. Be careful not to break it. And it has to be while it's hot. The edges, you see that they're gonna break off because it's normal. We're gonna be cutting that once we put the icing. So we're gonna roll that nice and tight. And now that it's rolled, we're gonna leave it on the counter for it to cool. Usually it can take anywhere for 30 minutes to an hour, depending, for it to be room temperature. But that's how it looks, nice and rolled. Okay guys, while the cake is getting cool, I had given it about 20 minutes so it cools, so that way I can start my cream filling. So here you are going to take your cream cheese. You're going to take your softened butter, 4 tablespoons. You're going to take your vanilla. And you are going to take your powdered sugar. Now you're going to give this a good mix until it's all blended in. Okay guys, now that it has reached this creamy consistency, you see that? Nice and creamy. We are going to let it sit here for a little bit while we wait for the cake to continue to cool, because we want the cake to be completely cooled. And right now, to touch, it's still a little warm, so we're going to give that about another half hour. Okay, so it's been about an hour, and we are going to unravel this nice and lightly to make sure it doesn't break, while also removing the parchment paper. Look at that, how beautiful that looks. Oh, I'm excited. Yeah. Okay, now that we've unraveled it, we are going to add the filling, and we are going to just spread this on there in an even layer. Remember, once we've put it to cool, we're going to be cutting off the edges. I personally keep them because it doesn't bother me, but you choose what you want to do. So we are going to spread this on here, nice and flat, and get it all across. Okay, so now that it's on there, nice and evenly spread. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect and to your liking, whichever way you want it. If you want it more on one side than the other, you do that. But this is what it should look like. I'm going to swipe that on here since that's the first part we're going to be rolling. And we are going to take this and roll it up. Nice and gentle, don't rush the process. And as you can see, there's extra cream. So you just grab this spoon and keep fluffing it up. There we go. Nice. That looks good. You see how that looks there? And we're gonna roll it, finalize there. Press it down a little bit of pressure. Not too much. Doesn't have to be that much. You see how it looks there? There we go. After you do that, you're going to wrap it up in saran wrap and you can place it in the fridge to cool. Now that we have it all set, I'm going to be transferring it over to the saran wrap and we are going to be rolling this bad boy. I'll be placing this in the fridge and I'll show you guys the outcome. So I did my first wrap and now I'm going to do a second wrap because I like to make sure that it's nice and sealed. We're going to wrap this bad boy up. And voila, this is what your pumpkin roll should look like. You'll place that in the fridge, let it cool, and it'll be perfect and ready for you to serve for any Thanksgiving meal. Hi guys, okay, now that we have allowed it to cool, I have removed it from it's rolling from the parchment paper. As I mentioned, these edges, usually they get cut off. You guys can keep them. We don't get rid of them. We cut it just for the appeal, but we do not get rid of it. We will be eating it. Okay. All right, let me show you guys. This is what it would look like. Look at how pretty that is for Thanksgiving. All right, and then usually I like to sift some powdered sugar on top. Make it look a little extra pretty. There we go. All right, that's perfect. Now we are gonna slice these. You can slice them to the size of your liking. If you want thicker slices, that's on you, your choice. I like to slice them about, let's say about 1/2 inch. Go down, slice that bad boy. We're gonna be placing it on our plate here. All right, now that that's sliced, I will show you the final look, guys. So you can see, looks delicious. Okay, now that it's all sliced up and plated, that is what it should look like. And you can feel free to sprinkle a little bit more powdered sugar on top. And voila, there you have it, a nice, delicious pumpkin roll for your Thanksgiving dessert. Look at that. Beautiful. Hey guys, and just like any other video, of course, we are going to give this a little tap. Oh, look at that. Someone is appearing.
What you making there?
Oh my God. It's so good.
What you making there?
The pumpkin roll. You want to try it?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my God, that's delicious. Why do they always show up? They know. How is that? Good? Kid approved? It's delicious. Thanksgiving dessert.